What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Canada, well, I shared it earlier, is in big trouble. Throughout Mark Carney's crazy campaign promises, throughout the spending cuts that he is allegedly going to make, again, following plans of other countries, deficits are exploding. And there could be a liberal cash grab incoming for the West. We're going to talk about that. But first, I want to share with you where I found this story, ladies and gentlemen. I use a great product called Ground News. We've talked about them before on the channel. I want to share that product with you today because this is where I get my information from. Anytime I'm making these videos, it's a wonderful product, and I want to share that with you right now. The media used to be trusted, and most people used to be on the same page or at least be able to respectfully disagree. So what went wrong? Well, to answer that, let me know if this sounds familiar. You're scrolling through social media and you see a news story with this rather inflammatory caption. The story seems important, but you're not familiar with the source or how credible it is. You then skim through the comment section quickly to find it's no help to you, and you leave more confused than you were before and give up not knowing what to trust. Instead, let's read the story on Ground News, a website and app developed to give readers an easier way to be well informed without the chaos as a news comparison platform. They gather articles from every source reporting on a given story so that you can compare coverage and see which angles get emphasized or ignored, helping you see every side of every story. And that's why for each news outlet they show important context, like the political bias of a news source, how reliable their reporting is, and who owns them. This approach allows to create the bias bar, which shows if any story is receiving balanced coverage from left, center, and right-leaning sources, or if the coverage skews toward one particular side. The blind spot feed lets you take back control, showing you stories from both the left and right so you can walk a mile in someone else's news and adopt a more balanced news diet. And unlike many news sites, they don't run ads, so they're not concerned with keeping you glued to their website with clickbait and selling your time to the highest bidder. Instead, they ask readers to subscribe to support their work to get unlimited access to features like the blind spot, feed ownership, info factuality ratings, and more. So join their community of well-informed subscribers from across the world and the political spectrum and get 40% off unlimited access to the best features with Advantage subscriptions. Then you can navigate whatever comes next with confidence that you're seeing the full story for every story. Visit the link in the description or on screen during the video to claim your discount. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, head over to groundnews.com/fringe. Get your 40% off. They're amazing services. It truly is a remarkable platform to find your news on, especially if you want to find right, left leaning central type posts. Even if it's just for a laugh, folks, to find the left side of things. I know people on this channel are considerably right. I only sponsor companies that I think you're going to enjoy. Again, I use this service. I reached out to them to do so. I want to make sure people head over and support them because they really do a good job at laying things out for you. So head over there, get your 40% off. Let's get into what's happening in Canada. It says here, the federal deficit projected to soar to $92 billion this year. It's unfair to pass these burdens on. Well, they're about to be. Because what's funny here, as you see what the face of $92 billion looks like, Mark Carney government is poised to post a massive deficit of more than $92 billion during this fiscal year. A new report from a well-respected financial think tank projects almost double what was forecast just months ago by a nonpartisan arm of the government. I think they're talking about Canadian Tax Federation. The report from the Howe Institute also forecasts deficits of more than $77 billion a year over the next 4 years. Also, huge increases over what had been expected. If this fiscal year's deficit turns out to be as hefty as projected, it would be the second largest deficit in Canadian history, topped only by the $327 billion shortfall from the pandemic year of 2020 and 2021. How's that sitting with everybody? Keep in mind that this is happening all while Alberta is posting they're posting wins this year. They're posting above average. We have a surplus. Canadian government is poised to carry on $92 billion in debt. This is just piss poor management. Andre Lawrence, C.D. Howe's vice president, said the federal government's fiscal situation is getting worse. The picture is definitely not pretty. The think tank attributes much of the government's declining fiscal health to increased spending on defense and other items. Well, you can't really highlight defense because we're already not meeting NATO targets. We have no defense. The economic effects of the Trump tariffs, as of course they like to blame Donald Trump, which this has nothing to do with him. Cuts to personal income tax and the GST for the first-time home buyers, and the elimination of the digital services tax. They all had to go. They all had to go. You've got foreign entities buying up our properties because we give them, what's not mentioned in here is the $8,000 a month that we give to asylum seekers to come here and buy our overpriced properties, while Canadian citizens don't have any services, while we don't have doctors, while we don't have the ability to afford food or rent or properties of our own. We open up the door. Why? Because, well, those people come in and vote for the governments that brought them into the country and fast-track their citizenship. This is nothing more than a pyramid scheme. And we're all the suckers for continuing on this. Guys like the Brantford Boomer who give the finger and say, I got to worry about my portfolio. They should all be on a pike as far as I'm concerned. Based on the most current and largely optimistic variables, the report says federal deficits will remain above $71 billion during each of the following 3 years, and in the fiscal year of 2028 to 2029 will be greater than 3 times what the government itself forecast in its most recent federal budget. And when provinces like Alberta post a surplus, what do you think Mark Carney's going to do? What do you think? I think there's going to be a cash grab instituted any second now. Any second now. This is why I keep saying Alberta Independence is beyond the rest of the country. People should be watching this because other provinces, you guys should be rising up and saying enough is enough. We got to get the hell out of here too. This government just wants to line its pockets. They don't care about you. They don't care about your stock portfolio. They don't care about you being able to afford anything. All they care about is their pig at a trough type behavior and their corruption. They quote here, "It is widely accepted that Canada's economy is at a critical crossroads. So are Canadian finances beyond the economic drag of high deficits and rising debt? It is unfair to pass these burdens on to the current young and future generations." Well, we've been saying that for 10 years while King Dipstick ran the country for his dad, Fidel. We're passing on trillions to the next generations. And you think it's bad now with Gen Zs living in their parents' basements because they can't afford rent? They all live together. You're going to be living in the same homes throughout your entire lifespan. It's not just until they get on their feet. Owning a home now, if you're not foreign, is going to be the norm. It's going to be the norm for foreigners. It's not going to be the norm. It's going to be a luxury for anybody who wants to live less or live cheaper. God, I'm stuttering and everything I'm saying because I'm so angry here. Our kids, my children, will have to all share my home when I die because they will not be able to afford anything the way this government's running. It's a clown show. This is not Canada. This is a money printing machine. It's the Enron of politics. I don't understand how anybody in this country can look at our government and say, oh, I trust Mark Carney. He's doing a good job. He can handle Donald Trump. He's fantastic. Where are you getting that from, and what meds are you on? Because I'd really like to live like that. I'd really like to live in a positive light where I don't notice all of these terrible things that are going on, because this community that watches this channel, that watches these videos, we're all on the page saying, what the actual hell is going on here, and how is it that none of this is being stopped? So if those people on the happy meds could tell me where I can get a dose so I can get off this train, I would really appreciate it. because we're in trouble, folks. Our country is being bankrupted. Again, I said it in our previous video. Liz Truss has warned Canadians at Donald Trump's inauguration that we're getting buried into the ground, that he will bankrupt us the same way he did to the Bank of England. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We're well on the path. When are people going to rise up? When are people going to say they've had enough? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure to hit that button. Join me live on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show, where I'm joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we talk about everything that happened this week in Canadian politics, everything we know that's coming up in the week ahead, as well as your Q&A within the greatest YouTube community on the platform. I look forward to chatting with you guys each and every week to hear what you have to say. Outside of making these videos, I most importantly look forward to hearing what you have to say this Friday night, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.